안녕하세요. 어떡이지네. Happy quarantine day, and welcome back to Broody Elf 22. Today we're going to be playing a game that I played a few years ago, called The Beginner's Guide. It's made by the same person who made the Stanley Parable, which I have not played. I own the game, but haven't played it yet. I intend to play it for the channel, but I never got around to it. Also, yay! We're doing another YouTube video that's not Dragon Age. Any of the companion stories. Speaking of Dragon Age, we'll be moving on to The Descent next. But, getting back to this game, we were going to be playing The Beginner's Guide. When I played it a few years ago, it made me sad. Reasons I can't remember, because I don't remember anything about this game except for it's sad. And that's really all I remember. I, however, when I played it before, didn't take away the meaning that you were supposed to from the game. I think I got a whole different meaning from the game out of it. But it'll be interesting to see if this time I get the same meaning like I did last time, or I'll actually feel sorry for whatever the game is trying to make me sad about. But this is going to be an interesting Let's Play. This might not make it onto YouTube, who knows. I might just delete the footage after I finish playing if I don't get anything out of it that I want. But having said that, we're gonna go jump right in and see what this game has to offer. So, kapsida! Got surround sound on too, so this should be good. I've also got subtitles on, just in case I talk over the narrator, because he talks a lot.
Hi there. Thank you very much for playing The Beginner's Guide.
You're welcome.
My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote The Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011.
Regale me.
We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda. Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk around here, by the way. And mostly it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment. But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level.
Wait, I can jump on it?
And of course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this?
Oh.
This is what I like about all of Coda's games. I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator. I want us to see past the games themselves. I want to get to know who this human being really is. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. So, it's 2008, Coda starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever. And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point, he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder. So, you know, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day, he just stopped.
Oh,
in 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since. And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again.
Yeah,
and if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda. So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveywreden@gmail.com. Okay, that's about it for introduction. Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game. As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
Stop doing that, it pushes my glasses down. Ooh. White. I'm breaking free! Oh.
Warning. Voice of permission
Okay, well that's not good.
This game is called Escape from Whisper, and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
Choo-choo. Where the Zams. Oh.
Security call breached. Hostile alien life forms inbound.
Alien. What, like aliens? Like
It kind of looks like this game
aliens?
was abandoned mid-development. For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere, but then clearly there are no enemies anywhere. You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets.
Nope.
But ultimately we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
Enemy force neutralized. Begin ship evacuation.
Okay.
I love how you can see the bottom of the universe from this room.
You can too. That's pretty though. It's just like 3 dots. Wait, what's down this way? Nothing. It's cool though.
Apparently this space station has a labyrinth on it.
Oh.
Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it.
Oh. Okay. Really? Should I do this?
Or if you'd really like to solve the labyrinth, you're welcome to do that too.
I can do this? I'm gonna get lost. Let's not do that. I'm lost already. Yes, I got lost. So, don't walk into a maze and expect to find your way
Okay,
out.
this is the part that's interesting. The game has this narrative about the whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
Ooh.
Hey, you there, in the engine room. You could save us all. That beam is powering the whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If your body could stop the beam.
Oh.
It's so much to ask, but for all of our lives, would you do it?
In death,
Would you give
sacrifice.
yourself-
Oh. In death, sacrifice.
Let me pause here for a second. What you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level. But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
Oh. Stupid maze.
The beam causes you to start floating.
Whoa.
And this is an important moment for him. Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it. Like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs.
Nice
So he
skybox.
stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
The past was behind her. Me? I can't move.
Yep, in this game you can only walk backwards.
Right, okay. I see you, game. What I'm...
So it's a
What?
short and relatively minimalist experiment
could not be
combining
seen.
motion and narrative. It is less advanced than the previous game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more complete. Code is
Why does
trying
the
to give it
future
a
keep
unique voice
changing?
rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
When she stops and looks, it becomes clearer. But if the future is always behind her, how will she find the strength to confront it?
It's a short little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that. Which to me is why it works, because it gets out quick. Okay, next one.
Slender Tubbies all over again. I don't like it. You are now entering the Forbidden Forest.
And that's it.
Really?
Okay, the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
Nonsense
Oftentimes,
is nearly
Coda
every
would put bizarre
direction.
titles like this one at the start of his games.
Oh, hello.
I wish I'd known him at the time that he was making these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, like, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do?
Okay. Am I getting slower? I am getting slower.
Once you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens. So why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself.
It's like a metaphor for like... You walk around taking people down from pursuing their hopes and dreams. A key in one game unlocks a door in a completely separate game. A normal game where you have to scream into a mic every 15
A
seconds to
room
keep
that's
playing.
warm and
Players
nice
a pair of floating eyes emitting
filled with
footstep
little
noises.
ideas for games.
You are the queen, dusting your jewelry while your kingdom is destroyed. A button you press to stop the chaos that doesn't work.
Coda would often tell me that he didn't mind if people thought of him as cold or
Players the
distant.
camera filming
He
and
said that he
advertising,
knew
walking
that
around
he
on
was
set,
actually
filming
a
whatever you
vibrant
like.
and compassionate person, but that
Pursue
it
to
takes time
surrender?
to really see that. It can be a very slow climb to get there.
Read an enemy's emails to learn how to beat them. Sharks are trying to eat you, simultaneously you are trying to eat the sharks. You construct a wall... Oh. When I was reading that, they were so good! Reset fish. SCP containment breach.
Well,
it's a
this is new
Minecraft
for
server.
Coda. It's an actual puzzle.
Was it?
Go ahead and see if you can solve it.
I hate puzzles though. I'm confused.
Don't forget that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon.
What is
We're
with
gonna
the
see it
three
a lot.
dots? The three dots mean something? Because they were in the other level too. Or is it just like his trademark? close that one. It's a nice soundtrack.
So that seems to be it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve a puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough. Alright, now I'm going to modify the game again so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
Whoa.
How about that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing. I actually find it funny that this game comes after the Stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea.
Could you imagine the
in
download this would
game,
take?
a dull exterior concealed a rich interior, and then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world. Either way, I think that the point is the same, is that most of the time you don't get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player. So if your role here is not to understand, then what is it?
Oh, we're back in the Forbidden Forest. We're now exiting.
Aha. So, this, combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the Stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
The Great and Lovely Descent. Excuse me.
Let's talk about video game development for a second.
Okay.
Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do. So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development. To make all of these games, Coda is using an engine called Source. Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors. That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well. The tools available to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games, to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
Oh dear. It's become a platformer. Ooh. Where do I go? Do I fall? Whee! Oh, I'm not dead. Do I take it this is the way I go? Uh-oh. I missed. I'm dead. Nope. Oh, okay, shortcut. Whoops. Wasn't intentional. That's all the way around, okay. Oh, well, now this is just feeling like this stinking scene in Dead by Daylight. In the shed, and you get trapped, and then you die. What the? Is that a prison block?
This prison, funny enough, in Coda's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour before letting
Really?
you go. If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that. This is
I wanna
something
go
that he
over.
and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else. Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere. There wasn't.
What point was he trying to make? There's 3 dots, Ken. Look at little face.
It's the puzzle again, with the exact same solution as the last time. There's still no clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But I promise I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly.
Okay, I'd appreciate it. Ooh. Hello? You there, did you come
Here,
from
Coda
up
begins
above?
using a
What
kind
was
of
up
dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities. Use the 1, 2, 3 buttons on your keyboard to respond.
Yes, there was a world stamped with whiteness. Yes, there was an enormous prison I spent hours in. Yes, there was these floating colored blocks. That's the world above. You've been there? Now this is important. Do you have to get through a puzzle with 2 doors and switches? Yes, I did. That was literally the last thing I did before coming here. No, I don't remember having to go through any puzzle. I'd prefer not to tell you after all, we've only just met. What? But you don't understand. We are trapped here. That puzzle is our only escape. We need to get through it. You think you want to get through, but trust me, you don't. Let me describe it for you. Let me tell you all about what is over there. Alright, I will tell you how to solve it. No, that isn't possible. That isn't possibly enough. I need to actually be there. I cannot simply be told what it is. I must see it myself. I must escape this prison. There must be an ending. There are books. I can't leave. Huh? Hello, how did you get here? Was there a puzzle you had to pass through? I suggest you go and see the puzzle sometime. It's not meant to be solved, but you can sit in the black space in the middle. What happens if I solve it? Why would I sit in the black space? Who are you? Just go hang out there in the blackness for a bit. You may not like it at first, but it'll grow on you eventually. What if I don't wanna? It sounds like a scary place. Sounds like depression.
so we make one last descent down to the final floor of the level.
Do my choices actually matter? Hey, it's the lamp.
It's a lamppost.
Can I lick it?
I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason, Coda fixates on this lamppost.
Ever licked the
It's going to
lamppost in
appear
winter?
at the end of every single one of his games from here on out. I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something. He wants a destination, which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination. We're going to see it in the work as well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear
like a
idea
metaphor
behind
for
them.
depression.
And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
Mm-hmm. April 2009. The game is connected to the internet. As you walk around, you can leave notes. All notes you see are left by other players. Huh? Nice room. Not. Okay. That's not very nice.
So first off, I'm sure you can deduce this, but this game is not connected to the internet. All of the notes that you're going to see have been written by Coda. This was actually the first game of his that I ever played. This was shortly after I met him at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up. I saw him working on this very level, and it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like, I have to be friends with this person. In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy trying to get his attention. I was over-enthusiastic. But he was very gracious about it and very patient with me. And I cooled off eventually.
How do you beat this game? No point to this. Wow. There's so many. Whoa, holy... I don't say that word. Can you guys hear me? Hello? Reasonable.
Oh, feel free to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing extra is going to happen if you read all of them. Either way, to me they convey a sense of loneliness.
Right?
I see this person who's filled with thoughts and feelings and beliefs and has no way to express them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to be played.
This is sad.
But it's ironic, isn't it? That in playing this game and seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him. And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me. That I could just play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the messy in-person socializing. I could just get to know you through your work. I think this is why I always liked Coda's games so much, is because it felt like they let me have that connection. I felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world. And then I feel less lonely too.
The place makes me sad. I want to tell you a secret. Once upon a time I did define fun. I'm king of the world. Balls. How is there wood and grass and concrete here? WTF. Okay, cool. Incoherence. Incoherent? Do not be afraid, do care. This game is no nice. I would like it when I could. Do you feel like a hero yet? In a world full of notes, one man will read all of them. This summer you will believe blue speech bubbles can talk. Cool Kevin, bro. We're running out of space, soon we will suffocate. There are too many messages in this area. Why? How can I type here? I'd rather be doing literally anything other than playing this. The guy over there wrote much wrong. Oh, I missed one. I just saw a flying penguin. Let me tell you, it was the most majestic thing I've ever seen. I don't feel like living because nothing will ever be as majestic as that. I never want to see again if nothing will ever be that beautiful again. I am crying now and plan on ripping my eyes out. I must go now to do that. What the bleep is this cabin? Boring. I can assure you, guaranteed, that there is an acorn somewhere here in this place and the sailors are looking for it. How do I get there? Hey guys, just looking for someone to talk with. I refuse to believe. I need to go to the bathroom. Recognize me, please. I recognize you. I love you, little white speech bubble. Ooh, did they just change color? There's nothing here. Go back. Don't listen to that guy. A free t-shirt. Makes game, includes door, cannot open door. Thanks. Open sesame. Door how open? Need the other side. Door why you so? Someday I will meet the person who made this. I help people because of the eternal good feeling I get. New room! Do you hear the chimes? They keep you going, don't they? I would like very much to be desired. Scared of writing something, don't want to feel judged. It's okay, buddy, it's a safe place here. It's not very crowded here. You can go in here, I think. Welcome, congratulations. I don't really know where to go with this. Don't bother. A game where you leave notes and suddenly everyone's a poet. This is where I get off. I failed to write anything here. I am compelled. Stop, turn back. Proceeding further will only result in misery. Take my hand, let's jump together. Let's not. Cabbage shapes our nation. What is that painting? It's art, apparently. Hey, don't talk about me that way. It does not matter if you ever get over there. Very good game. I think this is not going anywhere. Next time I will do better. I need someone to talk to. This is a note? Don't listen to the other notes. I am not safe. Today I learned you cannot fall off. I don't want to believe it. Ethical. Oh, you can't. Okay. I saw a person walking down there. Now it won't come back. Sad face. Devil Tower Star. Well done, all of you. Painting. What does it mean? Stop faking it. This is hurting. Art. Whoever made this has issues. Who are all of you? Help, I'm trying to speak. Hey guys, how's it going? Just hanging. I think it's about how things look messy from up close and perfect from far away. Got a point. From up here, it just looks like dots. Yeah, it's true. Cabbage shapes on nation on you again. We woe all day someday. Spoilers, it doesn't mean anything. Stop pretending you are other people. It's about how this game is pretentious and you all suck. Devil Tower Star. Maybe I'll feel real someday. He was himself the most horrible creature he could imagine. This is sad. While I'm here now. Yeah, we're all here now. There must be a reason for it, though. His terrible secret, he kept it well. I beat the game. More room?
At the end of this level, we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means. Each of these games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one.
Escape. Escape. Need an escape. He cut it up and spread it between worlds. Almost there. I have seen everything. I have traveled the world. I have never told anyone. I wish there were notes in the real world. Become one with the spiraling nonsense. Downward, keep digging.
In each of his games, after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult, Coda can then place this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on.
You close your eyes and wish for it really bad. Almost at the end. Does this puzzle have a solution? Oh my gosh, I have been here for literally an hour. WTF do I do? Help! Help! This doesn't make sense. The second door won't open. Damn, how do you solve it? Developer, answers please.
And because there's this dark area between the doors, a space between spaces, before you move on, you get to pause. Just for a moment. A few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here. To step back and connect the pieces together. To grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
I'm heading back to the start. Later, guys. Guys, it's not so bad in here. No answer, I think. There is no second switch. No solution. There's a little node all by himself. Typewriters. How do you leave notes? Are you there? Please say something. It can be anything. I just need you to say something. Talk to me, please. Why are you having so much difficulty talking? Speak. May to June 2009. Porn stars die.
Okay, this one
too.
is tough. It's gonna kind of just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
How do I get out? Oh. Nice place. Kind of reminds me of the music you get in the Normandy. In your room, like in your quarters if you change the music.
See, like, this is it. The whole game. And there's nothing that's particularly interesting about it. You just walk to the end of a hallway. Except, for some reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison that has all of this modern furniture. And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
What furniture ought to go in the center of the room? How about a TV with surround sound, a refrigerator, a giant hole in the ground? Or a TV? Oh. Okay, now what about along the wall of the room? How about we put a picture of a horse? I think we should light up this room a bit. A skylight, full ceiling window. Let's open this baby up. I'm thinking 10 by 12 recessed electric 6-inch soft LED ceiling lights with fluorescent trim. We'll put live Tesla coils in each corner. Yeah. Let's open this baby up. And a table. You need a table. Pretty sure none of my choices are making any difference.
There's a bit more to this one, but still it's not really communicating anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake. So okay, he throws it out and starts over. This time he comes at the prison idea from a different direction.
Hello, please walk forward. This guide will enable you to escape any prison environment. Follow the instructions carefully. Take care that you remember each step. First, click on this table. There's 3 dots again. Good. Go over to the photo frame and click to turn it slightly. Now turn the floor lamp in this room off, then turn it back on. Now go to the left side sofa and move it over a little. Finally touch the shelves. Shelves? What shelves? Oh. That's it. In a real prison, the escape will now open. Return to the start to be taken back to your prison.
And of course, now the table is gone and you can't begin the chain of events to escape. Here's a version where there are no bars, but you can't actually get to the well. And then a version where the inside of the prison is the outside and the outside is the inside. Let me just blink you real quick through a few more of these. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly a dozen of them. Personally, I think it's awful to watch this, to see a person basically unraveling through their work. And for what? Like, at what point do you just go, maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I could be working on? But Coda doesn't have that voice telling you to stop, that particular mechanism of defense against yourself. Without it, you just spiral. And so he keeps going and going and going and going and going, and then he hits on something. And he likes it. And that's it. He's done. He stops making prisons. This is the very last version of the prison game that he created, and the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
Okay. Okay. Hello? Who is this? Hey, it's me. I'm you from after you escaped the prison. You're me? ... So you were trapped in this prison too? Yep, I was in the furniture maze. Yep, I was in the escape tutorial.
It's a conversation.
Yep, I was in the reverse
prison. And so
prison.
this is what Coda wants, is to be able to talk to someone, to share what's on his mind, and to get some good advice from someone who knows. But the irony is that even in this scenario, you're still talking to yourself. You know, all of these games so far are Coda talking to himself.
That's where I am right now. Oh, I'm so glad to know that I get out eventually. What's it like to escape? Actually, I'm already forgetting what being in the prison was like. It's strange, but in a way I kind of miss being in the prison. It feels like being completely still and wildly in motion at the same time. Why? Was there anything about it that you felt good about? Being here sucks. True, maybe I only like things once I don't have them anymore. It was comfortable, I knew its limits, I knew my place. But don't you feel excited about getting out, the promise of freedom? Is that good though? It's comfortable, but it's inhuman. I couldn't live this way. You don't need to, you just need to be patient. Having limits is way more important than you probably realize right now. You'll see what I'm talking about when you've been there for a while longer. Wait, if you're me, then did you get a call from another version of you when you were trapped? No, I think I'm the first person to call back. Yes, I did get a call, that's how I escaped. Then can you tell me how to get out? Maybe I can come find you. What do I have to do? To get out, all you have to do is be sincere. To get out, you need to tell me how you feel right now. To get out, just talk with me for a bit. What? That will free me? How does that work? Listen, you can't know until you're out, but I promise it works. Just talk to me, it will make sense. Okay, I can talk. Let's just talk for a bit. Will you be here? I'll be here for as long as you need.
I can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion to the prison games. After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay. Wouldn't that be nice?
Wouldn't it be nice? August 2009.
So what would it look like if Coda wanted to make a game about talking to someone other than himself? To me, this environment is meant to represent Coda's puzzle, with the two doors on either side and a dark transitional space between.
Someone spilled the wine. How dare they? Oh. Somebody here. It's very nice music. It reminds me of what's the game called? Life is Strange. Oh my goodness, I'm glad as all heck that you showed up. Thought I might be having to clean this entire house all by myself, and right miserable that would have been. Everyone knows lonesome hands makes lousy homes.
You'll notice that the quality of the art is a step up from previous games, including this new and improved chat system, which he started using from this point on. From here on out, he begins putting much more effort into the visual polish of his work, and this particular game took 2 months to create as a result.
Alright, me a place this nice, I'll be glad to stay here all night. And lousy homes make homeowners. Are we cleaning this whole place? Let's be sarcastic. Something tells me you're going to be fun to do this job with. Well, this place isn't going to clean itself, far as I know. I'll finish up here in the meantime. Could you please clear the table? Sure. Much nicer. That's the table I want to see. Now, would you please run in the bedroom and make the bed? Okay. Yes, Mom. While you're in there, why don't you straighten out the rug a bit? All the details matter. Do you enjoy being a house cleaner? How'd you end up doing this job? It's been a while. It's been a long time since I've seen a house this messy. Well, I don't enjoy it so much as I need it. While I'm working, I feel kind of calm that rests in the pit of my ribcage. My soul just can't be soothed any other way, it seems, which I guess is about all that matters. Oh, that and a tidy couch. Would you straighten the pillows on the sofa out here? Oh dear, looks like someone's put a drink over by the couch. Maybe mop that up as long as you're over there. I feel compelled to share an incredibly cheesy personal insight. You okay with that? Make it especially cheesy. I'm sorry. Bad joke. No. Oh, okay. No, it was stupid. Sorry, never mind. Oh, no. Hey, these dishes need to be washed. Why don't you come do that? I'm sorry. You can talk to me, buddy. I love you. Last I checked, the tub needed a cleaning. Did it? How about you scrub it down as best you can? No need to be perfect, we're all just human. Oh, okay, yeah, could need a clean. Are there still books scattered on the floor in the bedroom? If so, would you put them back on the shelf? Perfect. Now then, how about you come and clear these dishes off the table?
After the intense set of prison games,
What?
this house cleaning level almost feels like cleansing. It's the moment after a particularly difficult or traumatic experience where you just need to let it sit and digest inside of you, and eventually cohere into something meaningful.
House cleaning is so difficult. How do you do it? Are all houses this easy to clean? Do these chores ever end? Darling, let me tell you something. Okay. Your house is only as difficult to clean as you are. If you're finding the work hard, maybe you have a bit of housekeeping to do before you come to work. And here I go with another lecture. Of course I would. Don't you worry about all that nonsense for now. Just smooth out the rug in the bedroom.
Of all of his work, actually, this was the only one that he called me up to ask me to come over and look at it. This was during a period of a few months where he was, like, grossly happy all the time. Just walked around with a constant smile on his face.
Looks like the tub has gotten rather dirty. Would you mind tidying it up a bit? Earlier when I said I had something really cheesy thought, I was going to say that it occurs to me that one's house is a lot like one's soul. You take care of it and it takes care of you. Don't know why I felt so weird about saying that. There's a bit of truth in it, no? Anyway, so, housekeeping. Let's keep doing this. Books, would you please clean up the books? Thanks. This is hurting. Oh goodness, those pillows over on the couch are a real mess. Would you go over and straighten them up a bit? Can't have these folks coming home to a messy couch. Question.
But,
do you enjoy
of course,
this?
It can't last. The music stops, your companion is gone, it's time to leave. The door at the top of the hill is now open as well. Again, you can't stay in the dark space for too long. You just can't. You have to keep moving. It's how you stay alive. Which is the whole point of the puzzle doors, right? That sooner or later you have to pick up and move. I really thought that was the point of it.
September 2009. Items you love at members-only prices. Why did you come here today? Was it to improve your life? Was it to get a better job? Was it to make your relationship more meaningful? No. You came here to become perfect. This workshop is going to teach you how to be perfect. I want your friends, the people in your life, to look at you and think, wow, this person is a better human being than I am. Right now, who do you think about that way in your own life? Who do you know who is so well developed as a person that they make you feel disgusted with yourself, compared to whom you feel useless, selfish, ungrateful? I intend to make you into that person. Perfection is within your grasp. And the question is not how do we do it, but how do we do it effortlessly? This is easy. It is so easy. It is so easy.
About halfway through the game, the perspective
Being perfect
shifts.
is effortless.
And you play as the teacher. And suddenly, you discover that your teacher is just as bigoted and afraid as you are. Oh, and also you can move around the classroom now.
Can I? Kids should not follow their dreams. On the way to work, I told an elderly person to start contributing to society. This is the key. How do I achieve it with no effort? Well, let me tell you right now, if it isn't effortless, then it's not the right answer. I still love you, it's just that you make me feel cold on the inside. Being alone must be awful. There's a lamp, too. Thank goodness all of you perceive me as being wise and intelligent. Drinking is not hurting my life. If you're torturing yourself trying to find the right solution for your life, you're not doing it right. I can say that. I didn't know I could say those. Do you understand that you won't be happy until you love me? This is for you. Seek out only one thing. What is the easiest, simplest path forward? Ew, I'm developing a cyst. Gross. Haha, just kidding. Anyone want to do some ecstasy after this? There is no truth. There is no path. What if I'm not a good teacher? Do what is easiest, do what is simplest, feel what is true. Holy cow, you guys, something is coming out the back of the room. Look out. Nothing. No one. It's coming for you. It's going to destroy you. Everyone run. Run!
I felt pretty hard for this one. I feel like it's one of the most relatable experiences that you can have. To assume that some other person is perfect and totally fulfilled in every way, and completely miss all of the little flaws that make them painfully human. I think about this game a lot these days.
January 2010.
This one took a lot longer than all the others for Coda to make. It was 4 months between this and the last one. That's twice as long as it took him to make any other game before this, and it's not like it's particularly complex, so I remember I found that a little strange at the time.
It's a stage? Well, I just said that, didn't it? I knew that. Hello? No, hello. Alright, the performance is beginning. Places. In this scene, you will be playing as me. You're at a gathering of professionals. First, you'll start out leaning against this wall. Good, stay right there. The woman across the room in this chair is a professional photographer of animals. It's your dream to photograph animals professionally. This is your one chance to learn something from her, to gain something, to succeed. Go on, say something to her. Hello. Hello? That's it? That's not a conversation. You need to actually converse with her. Be a human being. Do it again. I'm super scared right now. I like you. Here are all my hopes and dreams. No, that's not what I said to tell her at all. You're completely missing the tone of the conversation. I was reserved, but I knew what I wanted. I was confident. For some reason, I was just that one moment, but I was confident. Maybe it's that you need a better feel of the setting. There were a lot of people around us. I'll give you some props to work with. These cones that bounce when you touch them will represent the people nearby. Now talk to her again. Wise. Happy. Focused. Successful. You must have worked really hard to get where you are. I'll bet you've learned to lean into the pain. What are some sacrifices you've had to make? You're messing it all up again. You'll freak her out if a conversation gets that personal that quickly. Do you not realize how important this was for me? I'll never get another opportunity like this. Everyone was riding on this. Everything was riding on this. I want to try something. Try stepping back from the stage. Like this? My lamp. Oh. Okay, yes, now this is working. This is what it was like.
This eerie premonition of what's going to happen next in Coda's life. The solution to social anxiety, to fears of having to perform and having to chase success, the answer for Coda is to withdraw, to hide himself away. Which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games ago, where it just becomes harder and harder to access Coda's inner landscape because he keeps retreating. He just keeps backing away from possible connections to anyone other than himself. And to be honest, I didn't consider it very healthy when I first played this game. You know, it looked to me like he was trying to justify the idea of just disconnecting yourself from the world. And that wasn't what I wanted for him or for his games. Because I feel like a lot of his games are inviting me to connect with this person, to bring him closer. But what can you do? After this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to make a new game.
June 2010. Mobius trip. To play this game properly, you must keep your eyes closed. Click to begin the game. What's going on? Can we do anything? Oh, I'm blind. I can't see anything. What's going on? I'm gonna just peed on the radar. I don't need it. I'm trying to find these shields. I'm going to crash.
You should probably open your eyes if you haven't already. It's pretty much impossible to solve otherwise. And there is a solution, by the way.
Please don't lose me forever. Please tell me how to solve this. How? I'm gonna solve this. Research. How do I fix it? Oh, wait, how do I get up there? Truth. The only way to stop it is to speak something that is honest. Yes, that's it. That's the truth. It's draining
Like I
me.
said, I was getting
I don't
concerned.
feel it anymore. I'm out of
First
ideas.
off, he's never been this explicit in his work about exactly what he's thinking. So where's that coming from? But then even weirder, his work has potentially stopped being an outlet for him. Not like he's having trouble iterating on ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas anymore. And in person, he was being a lot more distant than usual. Like, you know how sometimes a person will just deflect anything that you say in order to keep themselves disconnected all the time? It was that kind of thing. Here was the point in my relationship with Coda where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way.
It's draining me. Keep going, keep talking. I haven't been honest. I can't figure out how to say the thing. I thought it was going to be easy. You're doing it, it's working. I'm alone. I'm stuck in it. I have to work harder. We're going to be okay.
His games are going to get more desperate from here on out. After this game, it's almost 6 months before he finishes something new.
December 2010. Hello? Where am I? What is this? Oh. Well, this is nice. Oh, not anymore, it's not. Where did this island come from? How do I get out of here? Hello? Is anyone there? Oh. Is that a person? How lovely. There's a Cheshire cat. It's been a long time to talk to anyone. What's wrong? You look lost. When I try and create, I feel empty. I have nothing left to give to my work. I'm completely out of ideas. Oh no! What's happened? Did something change? The machine that kept me going and it stopped. I'm trying to find this engine that used to protect me to start it again. Wait, you're looking for a machine? I think I know where it is. It isn't far. I need to see it to know why it stopped. What? You need to take me to it.
If the last game featured Coda talking
I can take you to
explicitly
it, but
about
there's a
his
puzzle.
creative
It's
frustrations,
guarded by a difficult puzzle.
this one turns it up to 11. Now, put yourself in my shoes playing this. Here's a friend whose work is exhibiting signs of struggle, frustration, anxiety, depression, even. And yet, still, he keeps making games. He keeps throwing himself into the grinder even when he clearly doesn't have the energy for it anymore. Why? What is it for?
I can take you to it, but there is a problem. It's guarded by a difficult puzzle. If you can help me solve the puzzle, we'll find the machine. Deal? Deal. It doesn't matter what I say, does it? We're going to end up there one way or another, right? Perfect. Ooh. Come along, I'll show it to you.
Because from my perspective at the time and just what I knew of him, this was a result of how isolated he was. He was in his own little bubble, just sitting at his computer all day, not really showing these games to anyone, not releasing them onto the internet, and so he didn't have anyone outside of himself to connect with. He had no outlet to ground himself on.
Here's a puzzle, what do you think? Hey, I recognize this. Oh, wonderful. Can you tell me how to do it? First you have to open the door. Okay, now what? Now you press the switch on the inside. Oh wait, now you have to close the first door. Alright, what's next? Now just press the switch here.
You can't talk yourself out of loneliness. It doesn't work that way. You can't be the one writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement. Then there's no circulation. If all of your anxieties are being channeled into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have no backup and you're just going to crash.
Huh, that was so simple. I can't believe I never solved it before this. Where am I? Deal. Hair recognizes and it stopped. These are all my decisions. Okay, here we are. What are you talking about? There's no machine here. These are just words on some walls. Is that crying? Trust me, you'll see. You have to say that your work is fun and easy. You have to say that game development is simple and joyous and that you love it 100% of the time. Sure. But it wasn't true. Ah, that feels wonderful. Don't worry about it. Just keep talking. Keep saying that creation is easy. When I make games, I feel completely energized. I am constantly excited and enthusiastic about my work. It is easy. It never stops being easy.
Seeing this game at the time that he made it, it looked really unhealthy to me. I was watching him do this to himself,
Keep going.
and I hated it. I hated seeing him so trapped. It's like video games are not worth this amount of suffering.
Every time I make something, I feel better about myself. Just never stop creating and you'll never feel bad. It's such a simple solution.
This is someone I really cared
Perfect.
about.
That feels
And I used to
fantastic.
get so much joy out of seeing him create. For him to suddenly become angry and frustrated like this, it was the worst thing for me.
None of this is helping. I'm going to vomit. Please, where is the machine? Patience, you have to trust me. I promise this will work. Please, continue. Pain breezes effortlessly off me. Any sacrifices made for my work are worth it 100% of the time. It always pays off eventually.
I don't know. This is what I felt at the time. I don't know how else to explain it. I wanted it to stop more than anything. I had never felt so rotten. I needed more than I had ever needed anything for this to stop.
Yes, more. Keep going. There is no shame, no fear, no guilt. I will be saved by my work. I believe this unquestioningly. I am a vessel for certainty. And it's the prison again. Is that the person who's crying? Incredible, that's it. I'm free. I'm free.
But it didn't stop. After finishing this one, Coda takes another 7 months and comes up with a new game.
May 2011. Doesn't it end in 2011? The Machine. Ma'am, glad to see you've arrived safely, but Captain Machine is waiting for you now. You can begin the interrogation whenever you like. I intend to be quick, I intend to be quiet, I intend to be brutal. Very good. Just be warned that someone called the press, so we might have a bit of attention on this one. Also, one more thing you should know about the machine, it calls itself Coda. Oh. You stopped.
And of course, it's the machine.
You stopped feeding us. Your work was keeping us alive. Your work was keeping us healthy. Those people out there, can you imagine what pain you put them through? It was only because of your creation that any of us could make it through every day. How could we possibly go back to trusting you to do this job? So here's what needs to happen. You need to go to the people who are out there and apologize to them. You have to admit to the people that you allowed them to suffer. I've been so alone. I apologize for leaving me. Apologize for leaving me. No, nothing? Think carefully. I know how to hurt you. I have seen the thing you fear. Alright then, I will apologize to the people on your behalf. My followers, my friends. He forced me to deliver bad news. I have a troubling revelation. The machine will not apologize to us. The machine refused to admit that it deliberately hurt us. But this is not important. We are stronger than it thinks we are. We will find a way to live without it. We do not need its games. Let us pay it retribution. Let us show it we are not failures. Follow me, we will destroy the machine. Follow me, we will destroy everything that the machine has created. I have a gun. Oh. Okay then. You just straight up destroy everything?
So now the work is becoming self-destructive. And I'll tell you, at the time that I first played this game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that Code is stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people, to get some actual feedback on his games. It might get him out of isolation. And so, as I'm thinking this, I realize that I could be the one to initiate it. because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback, so what if I did it for it? If he could see the difference it would make to have more actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral? Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work?
Oh, I'm falling.
So I started showing Coda's work to people.
Uh-oh.
I took this one, and the islands that you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions. And the great part is that they really loved his games. You know, the point of it all was just to give him some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of.
Put down your weapon.
Can you see why I felt like this was the right thing to do? Because it's the thing that I always feel like I need, to be told that my work is good, that I am good. When someone really connects with a thing that I've made, when they see themselves purely in my work, there's nothing that feels better. And I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something, I really felt like I'd done something good, like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it. If I could give him this gift, maybe I could fix the problem. When they told me how much they enjoyed his games, it was the best feeling. It's the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy. So beautifully, beautifully happy. So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while. So this is June of 2011, and I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower, and to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made. So let's take a look.
June 2011. The Tower.
And this is where I have trouble saying anything meaningful about Coda's work. Because more than anything else, the tower just feels distant. It feels like it's trying to distance itself from the world. It's a very cold game.
It's a very dark game. Like, all the sounds and everything.
This room actually has a maze in it.
Of course it does. Oh.
Except that all the walls of the maze are invisible. And then every
Really?
time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise. So the experience is really miserable. The game goes beyond not being meant to be played. It actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all. But I do want to show you the rest of the levels, so when you're ready to continue, press enter and I'll put a bridge over the maze. And to be fair, it's not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable. Like the house cleaning game. You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house forever. I had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end. But that game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate. What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze? The only way past this challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code. Like the invisible maze, it's frustrating to me, because it's the opposite of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement. It doesn't ask anything of me, except a lot of my time. If I could have reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is here. I'll put the
Not
code on the ground
supposed
for you
to
here, though,
finish
so
it?
that we can move on. The switch to open this door is actually on the other side of the door, meaning that it's literally impossible to solve from this side. So even if you somehow brute forced your way through the first 2 challenges and you got to this point, there's actually just no way to progress. And it's scary for me, the idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely, just saying, that's it, that's the end of the conversation, not giving me any way to fix the problem. I feel like a failure, I guess, when I can't fix the problem. But I can open this door for you, so let me do that. Was I a failure for not understanding this game? I don't know why I would be. It's not like everything needs to have a solution, but I feel it somehow. I feel like I failed, and I don't understand why. I remember, it's June of 2011, I'm playing this for the very first time, and as I'm playing, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person. I have no idea who this person is. It wasn't the guy I knew, it wasn't my friend. I had come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of them... I had been trying to, though, that was the thing. For years I was trying to get to know him, to understand who he actually was and what he stood for. I asked him so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him. I asked him please to tell me what the 3 dots mean.
Right?
And he wouldn't. I just felt so strongly that if I could have connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy. It was that I needed to see myself in someone else. I needed to be someone other than me. But he stopped and left, and it felt somehow like I had failed.
This game honestly feels like depression.
Where did I screw up?
Dear Davy, thank you for your interest in my games. I need to ask you not to speak to me anymore.
I'm the reason that you stopped making games, aren't I? It's because of what I did. I poisoned it for you. I don't think I ever told you this,
whether you think
but when
I
I
am
took
making
your
these
work and I
games
was
for
showing
you.
it to people, it actually felt... It felt as though I were responsible for something important and valuable.
You've so infected my personal space that it's possible I did begin to plant solutions in my work somewhere hidden between games.
And the people who played them, they treated me like I was important. They really listened and cared about what I had to say. Even though I was showing your work, I felt good about myself. Finally, for a moment, while I had that, I liked myself.
If there was an answer, a meaning, would it make you any happier? Would you stop taking my games and showing them to people against my wishes? Giving them something that is not yours to give, violating the one boundary that keeps me safe? Would you stop changing my games, stop adding lampposts to them? He's adding the lamppost? Would you simply let them be what they are?
And I didn't have anything left to show people. I just had to be with myself. And as soon as that happened, there was no feeling at all. Nothing. Less than nothing. What does that mean?
When I am around you, I feel physically ill. We desperately need something. You desperately need something, and I cannot give it to you. I literally do not have it. Struggling to come up with a new idea is not making me depressed. Low points are just a part of the process. The fact that you think I am frustrated and broken says more about you than about me. I realize that this doesn't make sense to you just yet. Which is fine, you're not my problem to solve. But I do hope that one day it clicks and you will make peace with this thing you're wrestling.
I'm afraid that I did something really stupid because I don't like myself.
It's depression, isn't it? And when you finally see what I am talking about, don't say anything.
That's why I'm releasing this collection of your work, is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried everything. And so a part of me has hope that if I put this compilation out into the world, and if I put my name on it, that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. If I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again? Please, I need to feel okay with myself again. And I always felt okay as long as I had your work to see myself in. I mean, is something wrong with me? Because I know that I did an awful thing, and I'm doing it again right now. Like, I'm showing people your work, but I can't stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to feel something again, like I'm an addict. There has to be something wrong with me. Can I apologize? What if I tell you I was wrong? Will that work? Will that fix it? I don't know. I don't think it will, but there's nothing else that I can do. Just tell me what you want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please, start making games again. Please help me. Please give me some of whatever it is that makes you complete. I want whatever that wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing and you put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was. I want to know I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please. I'm fading, and all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay.
Epilogue.
more love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more. It's like a disease. Solution. I guess if someone had told me ahead of time that he just really enjoyed making prison games, maybe I wouldn't have thought he was so desperate. I wouldn't have told so many people that he was depressed. Maybe he just likes making prisons. Even now, the disease is telling me to stop. Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you.
Yep.
If I knew that my life depended on finding something to be driven by other than validation, what would that even be? It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive of what that would be like.
Yep. This game's getting to me, man.
What now?
This is open up a whole can of worms I am not getting into, man.
I
Like,
think I need to go.
yeah.
And I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot that I need to make up for. And so I'm just gonna...
Just gonna go.
Okay.
I thought I'd take something different from the meaning in this game if I played it again. Turns out, nope. Still took the same thing away from it that I did last time. was I thinking about this? Oh boy. It's like, it's silent, so I'm thinking about what the game means to me while I'm walking through the game. Oh boy. And death, sacrifice. I'm gonna get a seizure. Oh look, it's a giant maze. It's just an endless, endless maze. For as far as the eye can see. This game did its job well. I will admit, it did it very well. Like, it's hard for me to explain what this game says to me because I don't know if a lot of people see it the same way, because a friend that I knew who played this game with me didn't see it get the same meaning from it that I did. So turn back from this cave. You said, let me prove that I'm brave. Let me keep going. But the cave goes for miles and miles and miles. And you're so tired, but I know that you're strong. This game. Just this game. I want to say something about the game, but I don't want to, like, say it if there's still more stuff. Nope, okay, that's it. Well, my takeaway from the game is that it reflects what its players see very well. Like, it's all about the player's interpretation and what they get out of it, which for me was a little sad. But not everyone gets the same, like, opinion of the game, because, like I said, a friend, when he played the game, the only thing that bothered him was that this person stopped creating games. It wasn't like what the narrator is going through, or like what he's talking about or anything. It's all down to, like, personal experiences and stuff, and I don't really know what to say about it, honestly, because I'm not about to go there. But it's an experience. If you've got your own experiences, this game is its own experience and just takes your experiences and makes it a whole big experience soup. It's the best way I can explain it. I mean, I'd say go play the game for yourself, but honestly, there's not really anything you could have done differently except for maybe a few dialogue choices that I didn't choose. But I like that there are games that make you feel things that's not everyone sees. Like, it's your own interpretation of a game. And mine was unique to me, obviously. A lot of other people will share what I think, even though I haven't really voiced it. But to me, the games just screamed depression, like suffering, which is what the narrator was saying. But it's because it's what we perceive, because we have that kind of experience to know what it looks like. And yeah, it was just really well done, and I really appreciated it. It's been a 1 hour and 55 minute playthrough. I might break it up into parts. I don't know. We'll see, because it'll take a lot to upload this long. So, yeah, thank you for watching this emotional roller coaster and joining me on this emotional roller coaster. So, thank you for watching, and I will see you all in the next video, probably. So, 안녕.